folks. It's March 10th. It's Sunday. I'm out here. It's about 50 degrees, so I couldn't stay inside. So we still got a lot of snow covering. So not a very good shed day. But I want to get out here and scat a little bit while we got some snow. I drive past this. I'm right next to the road, as you can hear the cars going by. There's tons of tracks going across this road, and I've always wanted to find out where these deer are actually going to. So I'm here, and there's trails everywhere, freaking 30 yards from the road. So I wanted to get in here and follow some of the trails and find out where they're going to or coming from. So maybe this archer season I can slip in here and maybe get on one. But I will look for sheds while I'm out here. They're gonna be tough to find, but there is some spots that's a little less snow. But if they dropped within the last, or before a week, it's probably gonna be covered because we got about 6 inches. But here's a trail right here coming from the road, and there's tracks, there's trails. So I'm going to follow these trails and try to figure out where they're going. So it looks like this might be one of the major trails coming across the road. Going through there, and there's one here and one there. So there's a buck track right there. Really good sized track. So I'm going to follow this trail down, see where he's going from where he's coming from. There's tons of trails in here, so I'm going to try to hit every one, take it pretty decent ways until I lose them. But that's my goal, is just to find out where they're going, so maybe I can, because I'm sure they're crossing that road at dark. So let's see if we can find a little spot. It's not going to be very far off the road, maybe 200 yards or so, but maybe a quick evening spot. Just jump right in here. If no one's in here, then it might be a good spot. Let's so I found a bed right up under this tree. Bedding right here. It gets them out of the snow, out of the wind, and behind it is that road. And then they're looking, it's a valley that goes down in and a big hill, so they're watching this whole hillside in this valley. They're bedding right here with this tree to their back, and I'm sure the wind's coming from this direction, coming down, blowing over their back as they're watching this thing. So there's hair in it. It's a good sized bed. Good chance it could be a buck bed. There's droppings and tracks everywhere. A lot more deer in here than I thought there was going to be. I just don't know when they're here. And that's what I'm going to find out. But yep, there's hair here. There's hair. Definitely a good start. I mean, there's tons of droppings. Look at this. There's 3 piles right there. It's doe. And the trails going past this, I mean, are crazy. Alright, so I just found a whole bunch of hair. There's a leg. There's a leg. And I was just thinking, by the looks of that foot, how big that foot is, it's probably a 2.5-year-old buck. And then right there is the rest of it. Looks like a Spiker 4-point. I'll go around there, but that's one that's not going to make it to next year. But bucks are in here, got their tracks, droppings, beds. Let's hope we can find some sheds from some pretty good ones that'll be here next year. But let's go see what that one is, and hopefully find evidence of bigger ones. Alright, well, I'm not too far from the driveway going down into the lake here, but I found a great bed. You can tell it's been used for a long time. It's kind of partially dug out. There's hair here all over the place. Not sure if you can tell, but right there, this whole area is a bed. The trail's right beside it. You can see it this way a little better. But it backs up to this big tree, like the last one did. The road is right there going down. You can watch cars going in and out. It's going to be tough when they're bedding this close. Alright, well, I just found another bed right here. There's buck shit right in it, so that's a good sign. But this is kind of where I thought, around the bend of this hill is where I thought the beds would be. And he's again still looking down in that valley with the wind coming over his back, so definitely finding some good sign. Let's hope we find more. Well, you see the trails coming here and coming out of here. They're coming right to this little water hole. It's draining out of there. Some of the tracks are going to it. Some of the tracks are going to that one down there. So you know there's a water source right here, which I know there's a creek down here, but they're going to go to the easiest water they can find, so that's it. And there's a nice buck track, probably a 2-year-old. Alright, so this is exactly what I wanted to find. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 beds. There's maybe 11 from right where I'm standing. Let me show you. Here's one, there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one right there, there's one down there, there's one, there's one, there's one. So this is what I was hoping to find. Christ, there's one, there's another 2. So this is obviously a nice doe bedding area. And there's a lot of deer bedding here. And this is kind of where I thought they would be bedded. It's thick. You got houses right here behind me. Maybe 75, 100 yards. This is a good spot to know where the deer bed. So there's another one. There's got to be close to 20 beds in a 30-yard range right here. So you know this is where the bucks are going to be coming through in the rut downwind of this to try to check if there's any does in here. So I'm going to mark this down and keep going, but I'm finding what I want to find. Found a shed. Alright. It's a small one, but it's what I'm looking for. Coming up out of here, looking at all these trails, and coming up here, and as you can see, there's kind of, looks like they've been feeding on these twigs and stuff here and browse. So I was just walking up here, looking around, and bam, small shed. That's what I'm looking for. It's a small one. That just means he's going to be bigger next year. And finally, I'm pretty sure it's a fresh one. I've been finding a whole bunch of ones chewed on from last year or year before, so finally found a fresh one. And you can see where he's been browsing on these, on here, digging into that stuff, browsing around, so awesome. Alright folks, oh man, it's a giant. There it is. Little 2-point side. Didn't come off very clean, but still wax ring, so it's fairly fresh. I'm gonna look around here for about maybe 10 minutes and see if I can find the other one, but I've never found a match, so if I do, it's for the record books. But hey, shed's a shed. Let's keep going. Look at how big that bed is. It's got to be 4.5 feet across. It's a good indication that that's a buck bed. All them doe beds are about 100 yards behind it, and he might be laying here waiting for them to filter down through this wood. So I'm going to mark that and still look for the other side of this shed for another 10 minutes. So alright, let's go. Hi folks, I hope you can hear me over the road. We did find one today, which I wasn't even looking for him, but well, I was looking for him, but that wasn't the goal. The goal was to find out if there was enough sign here and if it looked good enough, but it is loaded with sign. There is so much droppings in there. I've never seen so much activity. Now, it is March, so it could be kind of where they're wintering at, but deer don't usually winter that much around here. It doesn't get cold enough. We've only had a couple days here that are down into the single digits, but it's great news. I did find 2 good bedding areas for does, and I found a couple beds that I think are buck beds. And then I found that dead 3-point. So a lot of buck sign. I don't think I'm going to hunt this until I have proof that there's deer in the daylight and there's a buck I want to hunt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some cameras up here probably in the summer and before the season, find out what's here, when they're here. Then I'll see if I want to come back and pick out a spot. But definitely going to come back and do some more shed hunting. With all this snow, I probably missed a whole bunch, so wait till it all melts and come back. So until next time folks, take care.